or something.
I'd like to call the Shoreline Fire Department RFA Board of Commissioner meeting to order for May 7th, 2026. Would you please join me for the pledge? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Excused absences tonight. We have Commissioner Nye, Commissioner Woollum, Commissioner Admin, and Commissioner Sullivan.
Oh, 6. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
About to call in.
We could do that. She's been here enough where she probably knows what's going on. Okay, all right. Is there any public comment? Nothing on. Josh, Commissioner Pratt is on virtual. Okay, consideration of the agenda, Chief.
I'd like to add a new business item, and that is, what do we call it? Medical benefits for the Chief Administrative Officer. Outgoing Chief Administrative Officer. Both.
Okay. Approval of the past minutes from April 16th. Is there any corrections or comments? No, people shaking their heads. Hearing none, the chair declares the minutes approved as presented. Next, Commissioner report. Rick, do you have anything? Rod, David, Tyler?
Nope.
Okay, I attended the audit exit. They did the audit for the year January 24, December 24. They said there were no issues. Financial conditions were great. Management override controls are perfect. We didn't, the audit itself, they charge every year. They did not go over budget, so that was great. That's it. The rest of it's my notes from up, so. You just skip over the vouchers name?
Yeah, she jumped over the vouchers.
Oh, shit, I did. Shoot, where'd it go? Oh, there it is, I found it. Vouchers, warrants, motion to approve.
Move to accept disbursements in the amount of $4,031,574.94. I'll second.
It's been motioned by Commissioner Pavlik and seconded by Commissioner Harris. Any corrections, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Passed unanimously. Too many papers here. All right. Okay. Commissioner report, financial report, Chief.
Yes, thanks. We're a couple of percent over budget. I looked at the line items. Nothing popped at me that we hadn't either discussed or that were one-time expenses and all of that. Was there anything that brought attention to you all?
I just had a question about the 4.6% of administrative.
The 4 points.
That's
Okay. Under the administrative division.
Is that's not the administrative off the staff, that's all administration.
Right, like for example, like right above that, you'll see the state audit cost there. That's a one-time expense. On the previous page where the consulting is, and when we discussed the consulting one, but in a previous meeting, those are things that are at the beginning of the year, we have a lot of, either annual expenses or quarterly expenses that swing our budget a bit. As the year goes along, my prediction is that we will catch up with this. But just to, prepare to, the other thing that hits in the summer is higher overtime costs. So we have things that swing us at the beginning of the year from annual and quarterly expenses that we're paying up front. And then we typically catch up until we hit the overtime in the summer months, and then we catch up again in the fall. It's a moving target.
Does the overtime affect the administrative budget?
Well, sometimes there's overtime in the administrative budgets, like say, if we're paying for extra staff to like come in on a Saturday to do extra work or something like that, but it typically isn't much. The overtime I'm talking about is more operational, but that, it includes training and meetings and other things too. It's not just staffing up for minimum staffing levels. But I am a little concerned about where we're at with the overtime. Well, I'll talk about that in a second. Was there any other concerns about the line item?
That was my question.
Oh, okay. So overtime, if you switch to the back page, the one that's got the highlighted top on the staffing, I'm a bit concerned about the fire suppression overtime and why that is higher. I think that it's worthy of starting to have some conversations when our staff gets back next week as to like if there's something that we're not seeing in the trend lines on some of this. We have had some disabilities and babies, and that might be impacting it, but I'd like to be able to come back to you all and state if there's anything that is influencing this, because as I was setting up the budget at the end of last year, and we've even had some conversations already this year, I was hoping that we'd be moving in a better direction with some of the moves that we made in the CBA negotiations, like for example with PFML and all that. So not seeing this, we're going to keep an eye on this throughout the year to see if we are moving the needle enough, and or if our staffing levels are not at the level that we need them to be to keep our overtime in a more manageable level. And this is good timing too to add on to that, because we are looking at we're in the middle of our firefighter hiring, the entry level firefighter hiring process, and by the end of this process we need to have a decent idea of like what number we're shooting for. So if we're not moving the needle, that would be the time to potentially add more positions and increase our assigned levels per shift, which should impact overtime too.
And just on several of the pages, our sick leave incentive is down to.
That's an
Okay, thank you. Makes me feel better there.
And actually, and some of those overtime are also captured in cash outs too. It just comes out of that line item at the beginning of the year. So this is the one that I watch, to your point, Rick, this is the one that I watch for overtime. I don't really look at the line items as much unless there's something really out of whack. So, and this is the one we have the biggest or the hardest time hitting the target on too.
January.
Yeah. And so like, for example, the January is, that includes some cash outs and so forth as well. So that, and it comes out of that line.
It's like we're staying pretty consistent with overtime.
Yeah, I was just, I just want to see it move in a better direction.
For these months that we're in right now.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna get a lot of overtime this summer.
Yeah, and we're partway through May, and this reflects March. So I would hope and expect that when we get the April and May, reports that they're less. But especially if they're not less, then we're gonna have some more conversations about it.
So, Chief, have you compared the overtime before the paid medical as opposed to now?
I thought about it. I mean, I can tell you without data to prove it, that it has absolutely impacted us, but our staffing levels have changed so much over the years. I thought about trying to go back and do an analyze. I don't know if it would give us solid data. And so I was like, is it gonna be worth the hours to do that analysis? What I will do, it's on my list of things to do, is adjust I have a funny formula of what we should have assigned per shift with average sick leave, average, bereavement, all these things to make sure that we're in a positive place as far as the number of vacations and et cetera, et cetera. And I need to update that for PFML, and I haven't done that, but it's on my list of things to do, especially as we lean into that, what I just mentioned with the new hire or new firefighter hiring process, so that we know before we get to, the end of summer, what our target should be. And again, by then we'll know what these trend lines look like too. So, I'm happy to share that formula with you all once I, tweak it a bit. I can share what I have now, but it's not accurate now because it doesn't take into effect or the impact of PFML.
Is that, the new CBA took care of. They take a straight amount of leave, we're not jumping all over the place, taking weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We got partway where I wanted, we got part of the way of where I wanted to go with CFML, which was to eliminate top off. That's where we're potentially, if we were really trying to influence the biggest move, that would probably be the biggest move. But to your point, what we did do is, the top off for bonding time when you have a baby is 12 weeks from, birth or adoption. It's both. Instead of pick and choosing over the next 6 months, or whatever. So it condenses the use, which is more predictable for us. And we can move people around, like if like the three of you all had kids, and you're all on the same shift, that we can move people around to balance the shifts a little bit better than the sporadic use. And so we were hoping, and this is the test this year, we're hoping that was going to influence it and move the trend line down. And we'll see if it does. I'm not sure if it will. So this is kind of 2026 is kind of a test case for us on that.
you have it come in, you can show it in the budgets that it comes in. Under fire suppression or whatever they're at, you don't pull it out as a separate.
No, that would be the previous page. That the previous page includes everything, including training and meetings and stuff like that. But a couple of years ago, I think we started looking at just the minimum. I wanted to know what it was taking, because meetings and training that happens, I don't have unless we started cutting things because we were in really dire straits. We don't really have much influence on that, but the operational staffing to maintain the crews with, 3-person companies or 2 people on the ACAR or whatever, that is directly influenced by how many people we assign to each shift. And it's influenced by, many other factors too, like, how we hire overtime and things like that. But the biggest input, and back to your point too, the biggest input or effect that we have on that is how many people we have assigned per shift. And that's where that formula that I mentioned helps us make sure that we're staying on the positive side of, for example, if you don't have enough vacation hours available to take throughout the year for people's accumulated vacation, that's a real problem. Legal, well, it can get legal. And so I use that formula to make sure that we're staying on the positive side. Like if all of a sudden, like we changed I'm going to exaggerate here. We had a policy change and we said we're going to allow 10 people off each day, and we let 10 people off. Well, that would just blow up our overtime, right? But what if and so our overtime costs would go way up because people would be taking vacation all the time. And we'd struggle to maintain minimum staffing levels. We'll take it the other way too. Like, let's say all of a sudden we said only 1 person can be off per shift. Well, that would help us on the overtime side because then, we wouldn't be, have a decrease in our staffing levels, but there wouldn't be enough hours in the year for the people to use the vacation that they accrue. Am I making? It'd make more sense if I showed you on the, with the formula. And that becomes a real problem for us because, and we can get in trouble, you know, from a legal standpoint of not being able to, for people to not be able to use their accrued benefit. We'd have to cash people out and it gets interesting. So I use that formula to make sure that I stay on the positive side of that. And it also helps predict on what our staffing levels and what those overtime costs could be. But I do need to update it. Repeat. Thank you for reminding me. I see it too.
Okay. If we beat up financials enough, is there anything from strategic activity report?
Most everything's just, you know, the Buckle RFA potential.
District activity reports will very cheap count. You have used a lot of acronyms in this. Just
To keep you on your toes.
so what is CAO?
Chief Administrative Officer.
Okay.
The chap. Sorry, I thought I'd already, I try not to surprise you. I thought I only use acronyms like that when I thought I've already used it once and explained it. So I apologize if I,
You might have.
I apologize if I have.
I just,
Not, so.
you said it a couple of times up here. I understand everything else up here. I just, ETA, I got that one. BFD, got that one. It's not best friends, yeah. RFA, got
Best
that
freaking-
one.
Yeah, so you got that one.
So, yeah, I just, yeah.
We were talking about, before the meeting about, the retired astronaut speaker.
Yes, Mike
Your
Millay.
thing says presentation on the normalization of deviancy.
Deviancy, yes.
Deviancy, is that really what it's about?
He's got three kind of pillars that he presents on, but one of them, I think one of the biggest ones that he focuses on is the normalization of deviancy, which is, and I think I shared with you all that I thought that his presentation was, I think Josh was there. If Josh wanted to comment, you were at the summit last year, weren't you? Am I gushing too much over his presentation? I thought he did a phenomenal job. And that's why I brought him back. Oh, that's right. You guys were there too. Sorry. And I thought that it was worthwhile for everybody to hear it. Because what he talks about NASA and the normalization of deviancy and all that, and I even talked to him on the phone the other day, and the correlation between what the astronaut program and NASA or whatever can absolutely, have good nuggets for the fire service or any risky, industry for that matter. And so I thought it was really, his presentation was really good, and he backs up a lot of his points as he builds towards, the shuttle disasters and so forth. And so if you have the opportunity on one or both of those days, I would recommend.
The normalization of deviancy, it just kind of reeled me in, it's like, what's this guy gonna talk about?
Yeah,
But
well, I can give you a short little analogy if you'd like, which,
count down to teamwork and leadership safety.
yeah.
Is that incorporated?
Well, his normalization of deviancy is
Okay.
in his presentation.
All right.
I'll give you the short, because he uses this in his presentation. The first time that you're driving down the road, when it became illegal to, text and drive. And you got a text, and then you were like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna tell my wife or my buddy that I'm gonna come home, meet him up for dinner or whatever. And you do that the first time that you're driving. You're probably freaked out because you know that this is a distraction. You know that this is probably not the smartest, safest thing to do. But you do it 10 times, you do it 100 times, you do it 1,000 times.
And get away with it.
And you get away with it. And now it's comfortable. Now you're like, I can absolutely do that. I can text, I can drive, I can eat, I can do makeup, I can do, all these other things because it becomes normal for you. But the risk is the same. The risk, and the way he says this, the risk has no, memory. The risk is the same whether you're just on the first time or the thousandth time. And so he goes through and he talks about the O-rings on the shuttle, and he builds from that, and I think there's some really cool messaging in there. For the fire service too.
Okay.
And if you're going to the Northwest Leadership Seminar next year, I'm bringing them there too. It's down in Portland.
Oh,
So-
good. It's
So
what
if
you
you,
get.
yeah, so you, and I was like, so he's. I like, I know I'm gushing about him, but I really liked his presentation.
I
You don't
saw
think
that.
a guy gets practiced up at looking at his phone so he gets better and takes the risk away?
Well, now we have earbuds and things that'll talk to you and stuff, and I text and drive, but I don't text. I voice to text, I do it legally, just say, hey Siri, text Rod Hevelin. Oh. Sorry, and that's why sometimes my texts are kind of interesting looking, because sometimes the voice to text doesn't do so well, but anyway,
Okay.
sorry, I digress.
Thank you.
So- Yeah, it's coming up on the 21st and 22nd, afternoon of the 21st here. And the morning of the 22nd here, and then he's flip-flopping because South Kent County Medic 1 really liked him too, and so we're sharing him and cutting some of our costs. Yeah,
Station 51.
51, yeah. 1:30 on that Thursday, the 21st, and then the following morning at 51 on the 22nd.
Because we have a meeting here.
Yeah.
So a minimum will, what else we get with you?
Well, it's like from 1:30 to 3, and it's at 51, it's not here.
1:30 to 3.
It's about an hour, yeah.
So, anything else for Chief Callan?
This public records thing. Is it
Okay,
getting
more
any
parking.
better at all? Seems like it's a constant thing on here. Oh, really? It does vary.
I got 4 of them today, but I didn't get anything in the last 5 days.
Yeah, it gets real quiet and all of a sudden he decides to fire away.
All the things are,
All the ones the ones I deal with are all from the same person. I'm talking about, this is my activity report, not the department.
Yeah.
So this is all of my public records requests are one guy. But the rest of staff are also working on public records requests.
oh, I know, yeah.
Okay, so I'm just talking about me.
One I got reading the report about the IT being slowed up because of a lot of reports.
Well, that's not him. That's
Okay.
some of the others that we have.
This other.
We have a couple that are pretty. Well, we have one that's ongoing, that's very, very lengthy and very, very detailed. That is requiring a lot of work from BOFA and other staff, to address.
Is this happening to other fire groups?
Yeah, I mean. When I talk to other fire chiefs and all that, almost all of them have somebody like this. Maybe not to this extreme. Some departments and cities and organizations don't have somebody like this, but for example, he picks on the city of Shoreline, he picks on other cities, it's not just us.
Yeah.
He picks on, but he follows our rigs around.
That's pretty obvious.
Yeah, it's obvious because one of the ones today was like. This rig turned, was going eastbound on 185th and then turned right on Aurora and then left on that and then right and then the left, and I'm like. Okay, you want me to do with that? So.
He wanted the name of firefighter friendly, is what he called it, but waved at him.
Yeah, use that.
I'm thinking, yeah, are you kidding me?
That's not good,
We'll
really.
have a couple more.
Okay, if we don't have anything else for Chief Callan, we've got Deputy Chief Bookstein. It looks like the generator is done at 51. Or 57, excuse me.
Is the air conditioning on that chief?
I no idea.
It still has some glitches last time.
Sorry, Chief Oakstein and Orms and Rachel and Liliana are all over at LRI conference in Wenatchee.
Commissioner Admin will be happy to know that 57 is getting light upgrades.
Yeah, thank you again for approving that. We're making some good progress on being more energy efficient.
That's the whole purpose of the
Mhm.
meeting, is to take up both of the stations and see
Yeah.
what we could do to improve.
I know they had a climate action meeting too last week, earlier this week.
It was Cinco de Mayo Day.
Oh, earlier this week, you do that?
Oh.
Oh, okay. I just walked by the room and I was like, oh, there's a bunch of people in there. And later on, I'm like, well, what was going on? I was the climate.
We have
Cool.
Ken from Facilities join us. He joined our group and Captain Willis.
Cool.
So, yeah, we got a nice diversity. So exterior cleanup of stations 51 and 61. Is that garden area? Is it building? What are they cleaning out?
No idea, but I know that some of the stuff has been delayed because of staff workload capacity. So like, well, I mentioned, you may have seen it, like the pressure washing of the sidewalks or the, sidewalks,
Oh,
getting the
yeah.
moss off and stuff. Still need to do the parking lots too, but things like, he had a whole list of things that had been deferred, that Chief Hochstein had deferred, and now he's starting to knock them out. If you'd like, I can ask for
I'll
more details for at the next meeting.
And here's.
Or you can ask the
Like
people
David
next
for
week.
pressure washing 65, so. He's got a list.
Did,
Where,
did we paint the rental down at Richard Beach?
Don't think so.
Well,
Unless one of our people did it.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, but after they took that enclosure off the side of it, it looks really good. And it looks like all fresh, nice paint down that side.
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe our.
It looks sharp, it's a good color too.
Yeah.
I'm.
That's why we'll let Chief Hochstein go to any conferences. He would probably know this.
Well, it doesn't really matter, but it getting rid of that fiberglass and then it looks real cleaned up.
maybe the dark room, maybe
That's possible too. I doubt it, but
there's no note in here about. Huh. Anything else for Chief Hochstein? Let's go on to different chief arms. This list is getting longer too. Okay,
this is back to the chief's report, or no, I don't know whose report it was. For the red lights, we just put red film over the light bulbs.
I thought they actually bought red bulbs. I don't know if they did.
This
something
says
on-
put film on it.
Oh,
Red
okay.
plastic film. I thought that was pretty creative too.
Okay,
I did too. Looks good too.
yeah,
It looked good.
I thought it was cool to do that. But
I think they're just like sitting. I've thought that a couple times.
Light outside like.
Uh,
But he didn't like to hit Bob.
I didn't realize this film. I thought we actually bought bulbs.
Well,
So,
it was very effective.
okay, cool.
Looks sharp at night.
It could color red.
Good.
Think so. Not good.
Warm below.
Okay.
Okay, you're the chair, you can do that. He's my boss.
okay. Old business, moving on to old business, Bothell.
Okay, so we had a meeting on Tuesday. Which was the meeting to. The meeting was. The meeting was the council to take action on officially and publicly. Moving forward with the next steps of eventually joining the RFA, which was to hold the joint meeting that we've discussed before. And I asked you guys to save the date of May 14th, which is not going to work. But we are looking at the 18th, 20th, and 21st. And so I don't, and we've given the council till Monday to come back, with dates that work. So if you guys could also respond back to me either tonight or whenever, how about by Monday? If any of those dates work better than the others. The 21st is a meeting for us, which would actually be probably a pretty good day for us to do it, as long as we don't have anything pressing that we have to take care of, and my recommendation would be to cancel our 21st meeting unless there's something that we need to do, and if that's the case, do an abbreviated meeting, I'd say like 5:15 or 5:30 or something like that, and then have the joint meeting at say 6 or something like that.
So we're talking May
You may, yeah,
Okay.
2 weeks from now,
18, what was it?
18th, 20th, and 21st, which is on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, in the evening. It would be in Bothell still at the city hall. If any of those dates work for you, please let me know.
I'm okay with all three.
Okay. Okay, so Rod's okay. So if you know now, great. If not, and you want to check your schedule or whatever, just maybe email me. And
18th and 20th would work for me, 21st,
that's our board meeting.
I know it is.
Oh,
but
were you not gonna be here?
Also out with that day, so
Well, you could just come back to the, oh,
I've got the dog with me
okay.
and she's going, oh, throughout the whole meeting.
Okay,
So I would prefer not for the 21st.
18th and 21st works for me.
18th,
18th or the 20th. So that's the 20th works for me.
18th, 21st.
But the 14th is definitely off, right?
18th, 20th. Yeah, the 14th is definitely off in Tyler, you're
20th.
20th. Okay, and Rod, you're 18th or 20th or 21st?
Either one of them. Any time of those days.
It's gonna be super hard to get all
Any
17,
preference?
but we're gonna try and do what we can. So,
I'll make it for.
you're okay with all three?
I'd put the 18th, the 20th, I think,
Okay,
but
all right. Well, and if all, so far, all of you guys are good with 18th, oh no for you on the 18th though. If we didn't have to do it on the 21st, I thought the 21st would work the best because it's already a date for us, but if, that would allow us to have a normal meeting on the 21st too, if we picked the 18th or 20th, so. It looks like everybody's okay on the 20th. Oh, no. You're not.
On the 20th also.
Oh, you're okay. Okay.
Chief, I'm unavailable on the 20th. The 21st would be better.
You're not available on the 20th?
No.
How about the 18th? Monday.
Yes. I can make that work.
So 18 or 21. Okay. I will do the best I can to try to triage this as best I can. I don't know if I'm going to get every 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 of us. So far.
100%.
So I'll do what I can, but part of this too is like availability with the council too. So I was hoping the 14th would be a good day, but it didn't work. So
Maybe herding cats.
it might be very much like herding cats. So
All right. move on.
a couple other updates. Okay, so at this meeting, it was a good meeting. We talked about, or I didn't talk about, Kyle, the city manager, presented on the how we got to this place, the three legal or the three pieces to it, which was the logistics, the financial, and the legal. Had I don't know, about a 10-15 minute presentation. They walked through a few different things. He had finance director talk, had the attorney that they've hired to review everything talk. Council had a bunch of questions, not a bunch, had a few questions. Nothing that really was necessarily earth shattering and all that. And basically he laid out the timeline, which is, at the meeting to pass a resolution to have this meeting. So a meeting to have a resolution to have the meeting. And that passed 7-0. So that was great. Set the date. The next steps would be at this, and we met this morning to start talking about kind of agenda items and things like that, which I'll bring that up here at the end, but let me finish on the timeline piece. Our timeline is to have this joint meeting, theoretically come away with the positions that we need to incorporate into our governing documents, the RFA governing documents. I modified, and depending on the feedback that we got from that meeting, I'm going to prepare the modifications to the governing documents even before that. But if there's any further modifications, we update our governing document. This board comes back, reviews all that, says, yep, we're good. And then it goes back to the council to review any, and make a resolution to put it, at that point, to put it onto the ballot for November. We're hoping that that can happen by mid-June, maybe late June. We have to all the way till August 4th. But it would be better to get it done before we start getting crazy with vacations and all that too. And if there's any delays, to have, some relief, safety relief in there. So that's the plan. He and I are working on kind of like, an agenda on this. One of the things I did bring up today, because you guys brought it up at the last meeting, was, were there any questions from the council? Because I've shared with you the 14 questions that I think are pertinent, and I've shared that with multiple times with Kyle. But what are the questions from the council? And they had a few questions the other night. I think they were all pretty much in line with what we've already considered. But he's going to give me that, and I'm going to incorporate that in. I'm going to come up with a new document, which I'll share with you all, and start drafting up some of our positions on things, so that we have at least a ballpark that we're playing in when we get to our joint meeting to start talking about. And like I said, I'm going to probably modify our governing documents too. One of the things that I was hoping to get support of tonight is potentially having a moderator at this meeting, this joint meeting. So, because it's, no offense, it's not your meeting, it's not the council's meeting, it's not my meeting, it's not Kyle's meeting, it's both boards' meetings, and it would allow us to actually, present without having to manage it, and it'd allow you all to, especially you, Ken, to not have to manage it and be able to engage and listen and on. If you're okay with that, then Kyle and I would come up with a moderator, and we kicked around some name. Yeah, that was the name that I, yeah. But if you guys are in favor of that, he's going to ask the mayor the same question. And if they're both in support of it, we've kicked around a name that we think will work, but we'll see how that plays out. Trying to find, somebody who knows what the business is and can moderate this, kind of like Bruce Granowski from Gallatin that you've met, and we'll go from there. So I expect that by Monday we'll have the dates figured out, and then I will plug in and I'll ask for Lisa, Barb, and Rick, and anybody that's not here to give me the feedback, and I'll try and plug in the dates and do the best I can. Please, I apologize right now if it doesn't work for y'all. I'm trying to do the best we can, and that's what the city is too. I think the city is. Well, I saw the email. It's basically, we're going to try and do what we can to get everybody together, but it is what it is. And like, I'm sure Lisa will still be remote, so there will be a remote option in case you can't make it. So like, even if it's the 21st and you want to do remote, that could be an option.
That does,
but I don't like.
We combine our shoreline meeting.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well,
If
Chief.
First, I prefer to cancel our 21st meeting, unless there's something that's critical that we need to do. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
Recording in progress.
Sorry, thanks. I was just trying to get in on my phone.
Oh, that's you? Oh. So.
We can hear you now. Otherwise,
I'll probably ask you.
oh, he's about to go mobile.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
all right.
So I'll get back to you on Monday, and after we've set the date. And I will also be able to tell you, like, if who our moderator is and all that too. As we get closer, I will share with you all the documents that I have and all that. I have worked through the questions that we've prepared a number of times with both the finance director and city manager. So far, we're okay. There are some questions about it. I think there's a little bit of pushback on a couple of things, but as we get closer, we'll.
This will be an open public meeting.
It will be an open public meetings. That's another reason for having the moderator there too, to make sure that I'm not as worried about our. I won't say it. I'm not gonna say it. So.
Good. We're good.
If there's any questions when I start sharing these documents, please let me know if there's, because it would be good for us to be as aligned as we can going into that meeting. So. All right, Josh, did you make it back? Did you have a question?
I'm back, but no questions.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Okay, let's move on to new business, medical benefits for.
Yeah. So, I had a request, so, it's hard not to talk about this without getting personal. So I'm just, you all know that Buffa is retiring, or resigning, I shouldn't say, resigning her position on June 30th of this year. Yeah, as such, she's not going to be eligible for the post-employment medical benefits program. She has asked for the department, which saves us a bunch of money, but she's asked for us to cover her COBRA insurance through the end of the year. Her contract has a clause that I think it's great. I think it's very good. I'm glad I'm here and asking because I felt like this was a gray area. That there is some latitude that I have in adjusting her benefits and so forth. She has asked for the department to cover her COBRA payment through the end of the year. It's $15,436.26 ish. Give or take a couple dollars, probably something there. I just looked up online and asked her to let me know what it is. So she's asking for that extension. It's not nothing. It's not huge. It's less than what we'd be doing in post-employment medical benefits, but I also felt like I needed to. This is an adjustment to a contract, then, so that's why I felt like, especially something that's not just trivial. So
She was consented to, I guess for lack of a better term, kind of be on call back and help.
yeah, and that's a good point too. She's been and she's working really hard, to try and maximize her time before she leaves. It is going to be tight to get the CAO on board with much transition at all. So I am expecting that we're probably gonna have some phone calls or ask her to come in every now and then to help us out with something. It's probably, especially in the first month or two, I would think as time goes along, it'll be less and less, but I'm hoping that we can not do that, but the reality is that it probably.
So
And maybe that would be the trade-off of a lot saying, hey, come back, you can give us some help now and then, and the department's willing to go the rest of the year.
My brain was going.
That's what. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say, you're dealing with a contract, so. Yeah, we do that, but we leave it open-ended to come back, we probably should put some language in.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're not gonna pay her to come back,
No.
it wouldn't be, it would be, hey, Rick, come back and help us understand this a little bit and spend an hour.
Or $15,000, not chunk of change. But some sort of language that says that,
I can draft something up and have her, kind of sign almost like a little agreement, or maybe not an agreement, maybe agreement's not the right word, more of like a recognition of us
that there'll be a need.
extending her coverage, and an expectation of her
And not just
being available or on call to some degree. Does that sound, okay?
I have a feeling she's gonna be queried.
Well,
A few times.
honestly, I'm really hoping that I don't want to, I want her to be happy and be able to go do whatever she's gonna do. I think that's the most respectful way that we should be treating all of this, but the reality is that we're not gonna have the as much of a transition as that we may like. And so the reality is that we will likely need her to either be on a phone call or even come in and help us out with some of this stuff. And a lot of it depends on where the CAO comes from, what kind of notice that they have to give to if they're employed, assuming that they're employed to their current employer. Could be from out of state, so there could be travel issues, so the reality is that we may not have much transition at all, if any. Before the new CAO is here and both of us.
Is it an interview process going?
It's ongoing. It closes on the 15th, so in a little over a week it closes. Then we're rapidly going through the first screening. which is our consultant's doing that, and then she will weed it out and give us a recommendation of the top candidates. We have executive, and then there'll be panel interviews, and then executive level interviews, tentatively or save the date scheduled right now for June 8th. Which we, at that point, we would give a conditional offer, so we still have the rest of the month, but again, with time notification to the current employer and all this and that, it might be challenging to have much transition. We could get lucky, and it could be somebody from in-state, or hey, why don't you come up for a day or two, or here now and then to get some transition going, and we'll compensate you with some comp time or I don't know, something. We can figure that out when we get there. But that's our timeline, which has become it's tight. So we're going as quickly as we can without shorting ourselves. The biggest thing that we didn't want to shorten, we shorted it by 1 week from the recommended length. They wanted at least 5 or 6 weeks of advertising for the position, and we said 4 weeks because we knew where it was going. So we didn't want to and we have condensed and made everything else as efficient as possible, but we didn't want to short that by more than that. So it'll be open for 4 weeks. It closes next week.
How's the response been?
Good question. My data on this is 3 or 4 days old. We had 22 or 24 applicants. I think about 10 of those from in-state, so about half, maybe a little less than half from in-state. It's felt that there's at least half a dozen qualified people at this point, because she's already doing some screening work. So I'm optimistic that we're going to get a good candidate.
Do you need a vote on this? Or
No, I feel like I just wanted to make sure that I had, that I'd reviewed it with you all, and then I'll put together a couple of sentences just kind of so that we have some kind of documentation of this. I do have the contract does give me some latitude, but I didn't feel comfortable doing this without at least the chair and or the board being involved in this decision. So
I asked you.
yeah, we talked, and then
I'm glad you did.
so okay, thank you.
All right.
I thank you for Bubba too. This will make it more pleasant. She's
Put her time.
32 years.
Okay, let's move on to projected agendas. Yeah. We can go ahead and take May 14th off the bottle for now.
That was the longest for 32 years.
We got
Wow.
May 21st, Commissioner Bowers, you'll be virtual or excused,
Yes,
so,
May 21st, June 25th, and July 23rd.
okay, say that again.
It's hidden schedule.
Say that again.
Yeah,
June
that'd be
25th.
interesting.
And July 23rd.
Finally, I can schedule out that far.
Yeah, I've got it for the next 20 years.
Okay,
Well,
I'm sorry,
Yes,
one more time, we were talking. Okay, we've got May 21st, what was one, other one, June
June 25th
25th,
and July 23rd.
July 23rd. So you'll either be virtual or excused.
Yep. I should be able to zoom on. So I don't know if
Anybody else have anything?
Thank you.
Yep. Oh, we got the graduation,
Oh,
May 22nd.
Yep.
At Eastside Church,
yes. Oh, actually,
no?
Beatrice,
I found that, on somewhere and added it. We don't get an email that says that.
I was signing.
I think it's on your calendar.
And it was
I think I got
rented.
Oh, it was rented?
Yeah.
Oh,
for
okay,
May.
all right.
So,
So yes, but we will confirm,
okay. All right.
so.
I found it on your calendar.
And June 13th is the open house pancake at 51. We moved it so that it doesn't conflict with the Chelan.
I will be in so that I will come back for that.
So people are already giving me a hard time about flipping pancakes.
I know.
So
Neighbor
Said about changing it.
move it?
It is
First-
17. Meeting's adjourned.
I told her.
We're done. Meeting adjourned.